What's up, guys? Coming at you here at kind of and it's dark. So a few days ago, I looked up on the old interweb and found what Pro Circuit preferred for their carb setting. And they said that with their pipes on my bike, that you run, I think, a 45 to 48, and a 152 to 155. Those are the two jets you're supposed to run. So I said that, well, the jetting was stock. That was the stock jet. The 48 and 155 is what mine has. I think I know it's a 155. I think it's a 48. But anyway, it was stock jets, and they said to lower the pin on the needle, which the needle is part of the slide. It sits in the bottom of the carburetor, well, in the middle, towards the bottom, and then it's connected to the slide, and whenever you give it gas, the slide raises and the needle comes out of its needle valve or needle seat or whatever, and it lets fuel up through from the ball. Well, what made it was weird is they said you got to drop it or raise the needle, raise the clip, which drops the needle, which would make lesser fuel. And it's kind of strange, because if you open it up the air more, you need more fuel. But then I thought, well, the temperature was like like 50 to 80 or 50 to 75 or something like that. So I thought, maybe since it's a little on the colder side, that it's going to run a little leaner, a little hotter. But it's getting near, well, it pretty much is winter time. So I think it needs to be, actually, instead of up from stock, I need to lower it one from stock to open up that needle a little bit more. Because you can tell I have my idle screw, which is this right here, all the way in against the spring, and it still would want to die. And this right there is your mixture screw, and I had it almost all the way out and almost all the way in, and it would not want to just idle. I would test it and blip it in between, threading this out half a turn each, and I'd let it drop down, and it would still want to die, even with this idle screw all the way in. So, pretty sure that dropping the needle is the wrongest way to go. I'm going to try to drop the pin, which is raising the needle. But before I do that, or before I can do that, I've got to get this little screw loose right here, and there's one right there that I've got to get loose, and then this little clamp and this clamp will let off of the carburetor, and I can get it out. I'm hoping that this will be easy and I can just sit the carburetor down and not lose a bunch of gas out of it, because it is full of gas. I rode it a little bit this evening and found out that it's running pretty bad. It revs really high, which is something it didn't do before. But it's almost like it's lost power, and I'm afraid that if it runs too lean, it'll lock up. This cylinder, or this piston and top end is, so I don't know, I think the cylinder, the jug is still stock, but the piston and rings inside of this were new last December. Whenever I got the bike, the piston and the rings had not seen a drop of gas, so it still runs really good. So, and I don't want to take a chance. I'd rather it run rich than lean, because lean is running it dry or drier, and you can mess up your jug, your piston. If you run it too lean, you run too hot, and you can burn your piston, burn a hole in your piston, and that's like $80 to $100, and I really just don't feel like throwing that into this thing, because I kind of can't. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and quit jabbering on, and I'll pause the video, get the carburetor off, and I will get back with y'all. Okay guys, as you can see, I've got the carburetor is off. The reed valve is right behind here, inside of that. This is the slide. This is the needle. To get this off, there's a little, you can see, there is a little, like a bolt head inside of there. And all it is you just take a regular driver for like screwdriver ends. I think it might be a quarter inch, I think. Anyway, you gotta take this spring, pull it up, hold it off, and then this steel cable, you pull it, you push it down and slide it over, and it comes out of its seat. And don't let the spring shoot off unless you can find it. And there's a little clip, a little white seat on the bottom of it that I'll show you once I get this loose, which I'll have to pause the video again. But yeah, and once you get this spring off, then you can take the driver and get that little bolt cap looking piece right there loose. Let me get that done and I'll come back. Well guys, the video picks back up in my room, and sadly, I guess whenever I took this needle out the first time, that little bolt head right there, let it load or focus, it must have just been so loose that the screw driver, this thing, just got it and had it hold of it enough to take it out. So I cannot find anything as of tonight, which it's 2 o'clock in the morning, to remove this piece so I can get to the needle to adjust it. So I guess that'll be the end of this video, and I'll update I guess tomorrow whether or not I found something to fit it. I had a little set of wrenches and a little set of sockets, and my dad took them to work because his truck, which is a Ford, which explains it broke down. And he needed a bunch of small sockets. Loaded all of my sockets up, and he took them, and now he cannot remember where he put them, which is why I cannot find them. But yeah, I guess I might run out real quick and see if I can find them, maybe in his truck. And if I don't, this video ends here. You know why.